Yeah. All right. All right. We are back. If you're following this, I'm very sorry. Our first portion of the stream, I was interrupted by a call, which was something I had to attend to, and important. And the good thing is that since we still had pretty much some time, we still had some time for us to go back and wait for the market to open. It means that I could easily hang up and come back to attend to you later. And now I'm here. We just need to proceed with the simple analysis I was trying to have. That was just an analysis that was supposed to take us through and act like a guidance towards the next week that we are beginning. This is gold USD chart, and the gold trading against USD is an interesting pair. Just like I said in the first stream, I want to make this shorter so that it doesn't bother anybody else. I think in the next 20 minutes I should be done with it so that I can give it in a step-by-step manner. So I just ended the other stream. If you hadn't watched the other stream, I just ended the other stream when I was trying to talk about the macroeconomics that affect gold, which is an interesting topic because every single day news comes out, or let's say every single week news comes out, and that news, most people don't know how to interpret it or how to play it or how to trade it. And since this is not a news event that I'm trying to trade with you, I'm just trying to put it that you need to be aware of these macroeconomics that drive the market. Like we said in the coming week from Forex Factory, we have on Monday, there is no red folder news. And Tuesday, we have some orange folder news. But what is more interesting is that President Trump will be speaking. So on Tuesday, you have to watch out. And for those who trade gold, you have to know that gold reacts very aggressively to these kind of issues. Geopolitical tensions, macroeconomics, gold reacts very aggressively. So you have to be very aware because Trump is a very major causative factor during his tenure as president. He's a very strong causative factor, and that only leaves us with the option of you have to follow whatever Trump is doing. One way to follow whatever Trump is doing is through his social media and also through material like this from Forex Factory, which will help you to find those kind of analysis. We see that from Tuesday, then Wednesday, that's when the red folder news come in. And I'm focusing on the USD because that is the major driving factor for gold, because it is gold USD, or let's say USD gold. So then we go to Thursday, where I said the unemployment was going to come in. That was on Thursday. From unemployment rates on Thursday, then which is this, which I told you is about people declaring the insurance. Then on Friday of the next week, when now the trading week will be coming to an end, we have an interesting red folder for gold. For dollar, we have the core PPI monthly. We have the core PPI and let's say the PPI news that will be coming along. For Friday, where we have the core PPI, you also have to check and know that those are news that mostly their driving force is based on data, where we have actual greater than the forecast or the forecast greater than or the actual less than the forecast. Actual greater than forecast being good for the currency, actual less than the forecast being bad for the currency, which the currency pair here is gold. So each of those specific days throughout the week, we have to come back and look at the producer price index, which is the PPI. We have to come back and look at the unemployment claims. We have to come back and be aware. So you have to set your alarms or be constantly checking every single day of the week these kind of factors. Yeah, because I know that's what people do. And I know there are very many technical ways and fundamental ways to analyze gold because it is a very volatile instrument. And what I want to focus now is very quick fast to go with you to we go to I think some little fundamentals or some little technicals. We watch the chart together and we see whatever the chart might be bringing to us. So I think we can go back to our trading view. It is very conducive for analysis. And from there, I want to be very blunt with you. Yeah, this is gold. This is gold US dollar on the daily chart. And from the daily we've seen, as I explained from the other, mhm. I did some funny thing here. I was showing you about this accumulation here. Then gold took a run. Gold took a steady run where now we can easily apply some trend up. And it's better I draw it using a path. Let's try and draw it using a path where gold took there. It came down a little bit. You can see that. Then the leg went up there, came down a little bit. Then we have now taken this, we have taken that kind of move. So if that's what gold did, it begs the interesting question, what will it do next? Because the major factor that everyone is trying to watch here, and I told you gold does not wait for you to make it for the move. It always makes the move. It doesn't wait. So we can easily check that at around the 500, at around the 500 zone, 5,000 I mean, the legendary 5,000 mark. This excuse me, that is the 5,000 mark. Faster. So we can say that is the resistance point. And what you have to know, it is not coming from a point of technicals, but this is something which is psychological, as imagined. Resistance as imagined, because that is not definitely a technical point, but psychologically, most people are targeting to take a lot of profits there at 5,000. So at 5,000, if most people take a lot of profits at 5,000, and it's evident from if I go down to the lower time frame and see how gold was behaving. Gold was very aggressive with the buys. That is from this point. Let me brush it. Let me brush the point from this zone. Gold was very aggressive with the buys from that zone. So most sellers are now also coming into the market. Those who target on selling gold are now also coming in. So let's go down to, we can draw some trend lines here, because gold is also an asset of trends. It's an asset of trends from this lower here. We can draw one from somewhere there. It goes through. You can see how gold takes on to it. That is a trend line. And this trend line, we are imagining it from the point it broke from this accumulation, that range there. So it has been hitting that trend line and going up, and now it is kind of making a leg. This is like a leg. It's going with a leg up. And where did it break that leg? Where did it break that leg? You have a point there. This was a resistance which it didn't follow. When trading gold, you do not need to master the whole move, because what you need to do is just to collect a few pips from just a small movement from the market. So this whole plethora of movement, you don't need it. You just need a few movements here and there, and you are good to go. Let me delete the necessary here so that we don't have too much lines. That is on the daily chart. So you can see very well that from the daily, from this leg that I drew here, I can change the color of that leg to maybe whitish, that is more, because I want to use it now. You can see it broke from a certain zone of resistance there. So if I expand the zone of interest, which is now here, this is our zone of interest towards the 5,000 zone. Yeah, this is now my zone of interest on the daily time frame. So this is the zone of interest, and this is an there was an accumulation here, small accumulation for the day, before it went down and dipped through this candle here, the candle that I'm pointing at right now, and then it broke it, and it has now been climbing up for the past week, each and every day opening with a gap and going up and up and up. So if this zone, which is the 500 zone, is a zone of resistance as imagined, because it's not factual, it is a psychological zone of resistance. It means either the sellers come in and bring gold a little bit down so that they can allow, or some buyers who have taken their profits here can also get in back to the market, and we can observe that movement from the past leg where price also climbed up, and I can show you that quick fast. You can see here gold went up. The past week it went up from this zone that I'm now using here as my base of explanation. Let's use at least. You can see this zone, it came until this point here, and when it reached that point it started coming down like that. So this acted like a sudden resistance. And which zone was this? This was around the 400, I think, zone. Let me check it out with the. You can just check 385. Yeah, this was towards the 400 zone. 400 is here. So it means that's towards the 400 zone from the daily chart at 385. Gold took a resistance there because 400 is a psychological zone. That's why I took it to 400. 400 is a psychological zone, but you can see from the chart gold reacting from the 385, then it came down after having been climbing. Sorry, I'm messing this chart up. Let's just get back to it. Get back to the chart. I'm just giving you this thing like a layman so that nobody says that it's difficult to learn, and I don't want to take much time. But after the 1 hour cap, after the daily cap explanation, the rest will be very easy to understand. It gives us the major factor here because gold is on an interesting point. And after giving people a very bullish move like this one, from here it went up, very bullish. Then some sellers stepped in. Sellers tried there, brought it down, it went up again. Then sellers came in more aggressively, and it came down until this zone, which is around the 3900. Yes, so it means that gold here, the first reaction after a leg up, it came something like this. I don't know if you can see that 22 bars down, and after coming down, that's when buyers came up again, and it continued forming now a step, higher highs, lower, higher lows, higher highs, and all the way until it broke that resistance here. And there was a small reaction on that resistance. They immediately broke it, then it came back again to enter that zone before climbing up again. That's interesting because we traded that. And now what I expect here is gold to hit the 5,000 mark. Let's go to a smaller chart, which is maybe 1 hour now. Let me take you direct to 1 hour so that I don't waste much of your time here. Then from the 1 hour, I can already see some of the charts that we've drawn here with you. Some of the lines or the trend line that we've drawn here with you are very still visible. So from the 1 hour chart, this our zone is at the resistance as it is imagined. So I expect gold to ride on something else because there was a zone here. there is a zone here that gold there was a zone here that gold reacted to. It went up, received a resistance, then came down. Let's mark that point. Which gives us the 4885 zone. But that is point there. It means some sellers came in there, took it down, but buyers picked it up again because buyers were targeting the 5,000 mark. So if they were targeting the 5,000 mark, and at that point I can remember also there was a lot of geoeconomics issues with the Trump, that when he wanted to buy the island. So that is the zone of reaction from the 1 hour. So I'm targeting that this price, and if there is a certain trend line here that is very predominant. So there is a baseline trend line here that we've come with from the daily chart. So if in any case a good pullback occurs, it will be targeting to hit this trend line. It will be targeting to hit this trend line, and the most possible zone if a pullback occurs is this 4,875 zone. This zone, because that's where most sellers already began. So it means if it is drawing on liquidity for the sellers, it will reach the 4,000 mark, the 5,000 mark. Then what happens if it goes up? If the buyers continue dominating the market? I just want to do another trend line. I'm using trend lines much on gold right now because that's what I've been seeing working. Especially if you're trading in the lower time frame, like 1 hour, 30 minutes, 45, 15 minutes, trend lines are great. They can easily give you something to shoot. So I can easily see gold closed nicely there. And if it opens today with a gap above this, it can open today with a gap above this upper trend. My mouse is behaving. I definitely have to use the screen direct. Yeah. Something nice, something nice. What will gold do there? Show you how to make money. Show you how to make money. I still I want you to easily see that if the psychological level is hit, most of the time, gold will always react to it because there is an upward channel there that I've tried to show you there with that upper trend line, and there is also a trend line that is from this bullish momentum zone. From the bullish, if I reduce this chart, I don't want to reduce it yet, but there is if I can take this that I just do there, you can easily see, I told you this thing, trend lines always work well with gold. If you just take it back down, you can easily see that channel. It is very simple to find a channel for gold. Very simple. That chart is now being messy, so I'll delete some stuff here that are not helpful, so that we remain with whatever we are targeting up there. Yeah, so we have a channel. This is a channel. This is a channel here. Upward channels. Let's put some text there. Channel. Then this one here. You can also put some chart here. Up. Uptrend. So that I'm left there with something like this. A leg is already starting to form. This is now the difficult part where most people start losing direction from, because you can already see there's a leg forming here. We're definitely going to go towards this trend line. That's why we're already on this upward channel. We're already going up. So we will definitely go until we hit this channel, which can be around 550 mark. And then after that, we need to find zone for gold, which will be there. Gold coming back to this 80, this 85 mark. Then that's when the channel can continue. Or I actually anticipate, if gold doesn't continue breaking above the 5,000 mark, it can consolidate, most probably below the 5,000. A consolidation, because let's see, channel there. Let's use trends. I can see where this channel is still way so far here. So that kind of gives room for consolidation. That is the first scenario. Very strong consolidation. So with the upward channel, so we target 5,000. Definitely we're looking at the 5,000. Then it can come back to around 4,850 and below. So that is the zone where there is that immediate reaction from, and price can rebound from there, because it can also form a break like the leg that I showed you before in the other in the daily chart, where I was trying to tell you that gold can also always fall back into. My mouse is bothering me, but I think from there, if I expand this, we have interesting zone of interest. Interesting zone of interest. This one here is an interesting area to buy. This is a very interesting area for us to buy gold, whereas we are going to see that the eventual zone for gold, let's use even a sticker or an eye, let's use that smiley face there. We're expecting gold to come here. Yes, the thing is interesting because it's not very easy to explain or to see, but when you take your time over and over in the charts, you suddenly realize that you're seeing something, even if you can't know how to explain whatever you're seeing. Yeah, that's the interesting point. I need to put a price tag there. That is, so it's around in the 50s or something. Yeah, which in case it surpasses that, I expect it to go up to the hundreds, but I don't think it will. That is before I get back to anything. Before I get back to anything fundamental. Then I need also to put your price here. That is the zone with our price too. That is the 4 something down that channel is around how much? 4845. Yeah, that is 4845. Just increase that font so that it's about something that is visible. If you found time and you've seen this live stream, these things are not complicated. After that, now I need to just hide. Most of these things are not helpful because the price is still here, which is a very strong upward channel. Let me delete this, creating too much of a shadow here. Let me delete that so that it is on the better side. And I can also delete this. Yeah, so we can also see there's a fair value gap that is forming below this area where interestingly price can run up to. And that is the simplest possible way to look at gold, especially in the early part of the week. Early part of the week. You watch it. Nothing is so difficult here. Yeah. So that is an analysis of which throughout the week, like tomorrow, definitely before New York, London, we'll be doing analysis now on lower time frames. But I just use the daily and the 1 hour, which are very straightforward to give you a lighter note and to show whatever could be running in the market or whatever could be going on the market. And with that, it's easy to find direction. So what happens with gold and fundamentals? Mysteriously, Trump will be speaking during the week, and Trump is also threatening Canada. He's threatening Canada with issues to deal with interest rates and trying to give them 100%. So, but let's expect the market to open today, and if the higher time frame identify with this microeconomics, if they do not just affect the market so much, I expect such a kind of thing to play out with the channels and trend lines to be respected. And watch out, when trend lines are broken, you take another setup. When they are respected, you know where they're going to land and stuff like that. And because I know that for things like if I go down to these are the smaller charts, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the 30 minutes, their overall structure, even though it is bullish, you always expect this little pullback, that little pullback, because sellers always step in and buyers always take their profit. That is the normal market condition. So even though gold has been very bullish throughout the whole week, and even in the lower time frame, that 1 hour, I know it's still on a very bullish trend there. When it reached 5,000, because it didn't hit 5,000 last week, but when it hits 5,000, maybe this morning or early Monday, we expect a reaction from that psychological level. Most buyers are going to be taking their profits. Sellers can come in, but if buyers exceed sellers, we expect it to climb up to the 100 mark, because I told you a lot of factors play in together, and sometimes by the time you see whatever is happening, it has already happened. Maybe you notice a move that what caused the move. The move has already, maybe Trump spoke and you weren't aware, and you are trying to get back to the charts you see, you will find the market had already moved according to that. And that is the analysis. So I'm targeting 550-50. I'll be taking profits there and maybe entering sales according to market reaction from that zone. Yeah. And if you are the kind of person who doesn't sell gold, you can take your profits there, wait for it to pull back, then you take more trades on buys at the zone where it will be more conducive for you than to hold your buys, come back to negative, then again climb up. I think that is a very nice way to end that kind of explanation. And let's see each other during the week. I'll be glad to explain this kind of stuff through and through each and every session, London, New York, just so that I leave this content here. Somebody will watch it one time and it will be easier, because I tend to go back in time, then bring it forward, and I do not enclose it into one aspect of just the trading right now. When I've given you an highlight like that, it's easy to bring your psychology and your focus into things which are actually estimated around those open, high, low, and close. Thank you very much.